Hey guys, Christine Perry, Pampered Chef here. I want to show you one of the easiest and most delicious recipes that you can do in your Rock Crock Dutch oven and slow cooker stand. Your family's going to think, oh my gosh, you slaved over this all day and you actually didn't, and your house is going to smell like Thanksgiving. A slow cooked turkey breast. What I do is I cut up onion and I lay it in the bottom of the Rock Crock. I have my carrots and celery already cut, just kind of the same way you would do it if you're putting your whole bird in the oven. And then what I did is I wash my bird with salt. I give it a saltwater bath. I actually washed it yesterday, and normally I season it ahead of time, but I was feeling lazy. And then what I'm also going to do is put in a little bit of chicken stock, or sometimes they sell turkey broth. You can do that too, just to have a little bit of liquid in there. Now this is, of course, I'm opening it up with our smooth edge can opener. You guys need one of these in your life. What it does, it unglues the top. You're never gonna cut yourself. It's completely smooth. It's fantastic. And I'm just gonna pour a little of that in there. I'm gonna show you guys how much I poured in, just so you guys can see. Not a lot, because the turkey is going to have a lot of liquid in it anyway, so it's not super deep. And maybe I'm gonna throw a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my gloves on, because I like to do that when I'm working with poultry or just meat in general. And what I've already done in my prep bowl is I have put together salt, pepper, dried rosemary, paprika, onions, oregano, garlic. And how I do everything, I give it a sniff test. And if it smells like I like it, like my family likes it, then it's good. And that's what I like to put all my spices and my mix together rather than layering it one by one. This way I feel like the meat is evenly layered with all the different flavors. So I love the prep bowl for that. And again, normally what I would do if I had time or if I wasn't being lazy yesterday, I would have already put the seasonings on the turkey, but I didn't. So then I'm gonna put the turkey in, and I'm gonna take the seasonings and I'm gonna rub it all over. Well, you know, maybe I'm gonna put a little olive oil. I forgot to take my olive oil out. Give me a second, guys. Boop. Probably don't really need it, but I like to put a little bit of oil. And I'm gonna give it a little massage. Give it a little massage so the olive oil's all over. And then I'm going to put my spices. And what I like to do is pat it on so it kind of sticks and doesn't just fall into the bottom of the Rock Crock. And then what I'll do is I'll put some into the cavity of it as well. This bird is looking good so far. I happen to love a turkey. You can do this with, by the way, you do this with any meat. If you like a chicken instead, you want like a slow roasted chicken, you could do that. Whatever you want. But I love this. It's like, oh my gosh, it's Thanksgiving, but it's well, you probably wouldn't do this in the middle of the summer, but it just is so easy. You're gonna set it and forget it. And then what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna put the top on, and I am going to set it for, just put some more stuff. I'm going to set it for, what I'm going to do is to make the top fit, I'm probably going to do, I bought a little bit of a big of a bird this time. This bird is almost 7 pounds, and it's, again, it's just a turkey breast. I'm going to show you a trick I do. So I'm going to put this on low. I'm going to put it for 7 hours. I'm going to put it for 6.5 actually. And then I will sit, so I happen to be home, I can flip it over. But what I like to do, in case I ever have a top, where is it? That isn't, I have it already out. In case I have a top that is not closing super secure, or it's, you can press it down, and then what I use is very fancy painter's tape to keep the top on, just so that I know it's going to be closed and no heat is going to escape, because sometimes we have bigger pieces of meat in there. So I'm going to do that. And it's not gonna ruin your cookware because it's painter's tape. So that'll just keep it secure and down. And I will check back in with you guys in a few hours to show you the next, how it's gonna look when it comes out. So let me give you guys a better view of it after I do this. So here's the turkey, here's the rock. I put it in for 6.5 hours. I will test it. And now you're just gonna let it go and go off into your day. Guys, I completely forgot to put some seasoning under the skin, so I wanted to tell you guys that too. That's a good tip to keep some flavor into the meat that you're gonna eat, because I personally don't really eat the skin, but let's get some seasoning under the meat as well. Sorry, I forgot to show you guys. Say that before, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew about that. So yes, I'm seasoning the meat underneath also, under the skin. So I'm back 6 hours later. I'm gonna check the temperature. I have a feeling that it's ready. Now it does obviously come with one of those pop-up thermometers, but we always wanna check it ourselves. So I have my instant read thermometer, which comes in super handy. This is glass, it doesn't get too hot, but I just wanna be careful. And I wanna check out the temperature. Oh, here comes my dog running. 60, yep, I'd say it's ready. Plus it's gonna cook a little more it's gonna cook a little more as it sits out. I'm gonna tent it and I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna make gravy. So cool. So let me take our quick shred, which I use also as like picker-uppers. Isn't that a fancy name for it? Take this off. Now it's very tender. I am hoping it doesn't fall off the bone when I pick it up, because it's been cooking all day. It's very tender. I'm going to put it, there we go. And I'm going to put it on our grooved cutting board. Let me just double check. Yeah, that is up, but it was in the hotness, so I just want to double check again. Yeah, I think we're good. 168, plus it's going to cook more. Yep. Okay, so let me just tent it and I'll get right back to you guys. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with all those drippings is I'm going to make a homemade gravy in the blender. Again, it's going to be a set it and forget it. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to open the top. I love this blender. It's our cooking blender. It does not heat up because of friction. It heats up because there's actually a heating element. I make peanut butter in this, smoothies, hummus, gravy, milkshakes, so much stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything that's in the bottom, all the liquid here. Let me bring you guys over, because this is what's going to make it taste so good. And I'm actually going to make a gravy without any flour or butter, which some people are going to be like, what's the point of that? I don't mind a thin gravy on this, just because I like it on the healthier side. It has the same flavor, it's just not thick, and that's fine with me. So as you can see, I have the straining ladle, so I can just, can you guys see that? It's got the holes in it, so I can just get the liquid, because I want to make sure I have enough liquid in here, which I probably do. And then what I do, I mean, for some of the fatness, I will take maybe some of the turkey skin, and that'll thicken it up and fatten it up. But I'm just gonna put this stuff in here just like this. I'm not doing anything else. And I'm gonna hit the sauce button, and it's gonna go for about 30 minutes, if that, and make a nice, yummy gravy. And you can put flour in it or butter to thicken it up if you wanted. And I could have made this a lot easier myself and just picked this up and poured it, but why would I make my life easier when the tools make it easier? So I gotta make it more difficult. I'm making a joke. Okay, so give me a second. So we're gonna do that. It's a little warm, so I wanna be careful. Plus I'm on video, so I wasn't sure if I had enough space to show you guys. All right, so let me get some of that fattiness out of there. Just to get a little more flavor. That'll thicken it up a little bit. But that'll give it that flavor. And then I'm just gonna put the top on. And I'm gonna turn it to sauce, and I'm gonna hit start. But what I'm gonna do now, because I'm done with the Rock Crock, it's going to go in the dishwasher. So the Rock Crock can go in the microwave. I've made cakes in it. It could go in the freezer. It can go in the refrigerator. It goes in the Rock Crock stand. It goes on the stove and in the oven. So it goes everywhere, and then in the dishwasher when you're done. It's the only pot, a vessel I know of that can literally go on any surface. And and it can go on the grill too. Forgot about that. How cool is that? All right, let me hit sauce and I'll be back. So let's hit sauce. And what's gonna heat up and go going and going and going. Grinds it all up. I have 1 pound of liquid. So I just put a few sweet potatoes in the basket. I'm going to put some apple juice as my liquid. I think it's gonna make it even sweeter and taste yummier. Actually, let's pour it in. Ooh, it's gonna be good. And then I'm gonna put it on steam for 4 minutes. So stay tuned for that. Turn it on. Steam. 4 minutes. Stay tuned. Those sweet potatoes are done and they're ready to get mashed up. Yummy! Okay, so we've let our turkey rest a bit under the foil, and I am gonna carve it. And that's another use for our quick shred. Not only can these shred, but they're good guides for when you cut. Now, a trick with a turkey, and you might know this, the easiest way to cut a turkey is to actually take the breast off the bone first, and then slice it. And then you can use that bone to make delicious turkey soup or turkey stock. And of course, I've got my gloves on again because I don't want my hands to get all gooky, and I don't think anyone wants my hands in their food. So I don't think I cut this at the right angle. We're just gonna cut it a little. There we go. So when you get the breast meat off of the bone, that's how you get the beautiful slices. 1 second. There we go. So, and what you would do is, you see that, then you can just hold this, if you wanted, to make slices. I'm gonna actually slice it by hand, and you would just go across like so. I've turned it over, but you don't have to. And you've got beautiful sliced turkey, like it's Thanksgiving, but you hardly were in the kitchen at all because all our tools did it for you. And if you like a crispy skin, what you could do is then put this under the broiler. I don't really care for the skin, but that's okay. And now we've got our sliced turkey breast. And let's not forget about our turkey made in the blender. Like I said, my version isn't super thick, but it is super tasty.